Good evening, race fans, and welcome back to another exciting week of Alpha Touring Challenge action here at virtual Sebring International Raceway, where we're going to have an exciting 1.2-hour race in honor of the 12 hours of Sebring, with a lot of interesting rules to follow. But first, let's introduce, I should say, our broadcast team tonight. First up is Pim Luth running the overlays and the cameras. Pim, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing fine. I'm looking forward to this. Last race was a bit of a surprise. We had, I think, around 35 people on the track, and it was amazing to see. So I'm even more exciting. It is. I saw something on the Discord about a special challenge. So I'm curious about what the specialty. I did see it was a little bit longer, 1.5 hours. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Seeing what we're gonna see over here.
Yeah, this one promises only the second race into the season, and we're already mixing it up. I love that about this league. Speaking of this league, we've got John Lazan in the booth with us as well. John, how are you doing tonight?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Fantastic, man. Well, it's an honor to have you here joining us to talk about the race and get your insights because, Pim and I, far from experts in these touring cars, but what do you expect to see tonight from these drivers?
Well, to be honest, with the two pit stops, it's the first time I think this league has done two pit stops. So there's going to be a lot of strategy involved with that. Whoever takes, with fuel limits and tires and everything like that, it's going to be very interesting to watch.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. A little bit longer race length, I think. And then we also we were talking about some of the interesting rules that are going to be in play today. The 30% fuel limit, at least for the Audi, I should say there. That's going to drive the two pit stops like John was just talking about, which will be interesting to watch as well, maybe in the 10 to 11 lap range. Also, we have 8 times the speed of light, or however you want to put it, but the time is going to be going by 8 times as fast as normal. So we're going to have a nice day-night transition occurring here, and which actually comes into play. I've done the 12 hours of Sebring before in the GT3, and when that sun starts to set, it becomes a huge factor on the shiny track. 113 degree Fahrenheit track at the moment, nice and toasty for the drivers. And yeah, this is going to be super, super interesting. Only one faster pair for such a long race. But yeah, here we go. We got the drivers gridding up. Pim, why don't you bring us through the starting grid?
Yeah, we do have a lot of drivers. I'm not going to mention them all. I do want to go into that little bit of Francois Schink. Took that first position again, so that's a great way of doing that. I also see Wojciech Swidovic not on that first position. It was really, really close, 0.094 for Wojciech Swidovic, but he got that second position. And then we see Slugnificent George Zuniga, and then of course Matt Zepka from Torque Steer Racing, or basically our good old SNS guys. Set up a team and are joining over here, so great to see them. I'm gonna see, I think we're already gridding up. Do you see any, I see Jerome Bajulaz on the 7th position, our race winner from last race. So that's gonna be interesting to see.
Yeah, and it does look like we're going to have a full safety car pace lap here as we work through the rest of the field there on the overlay. We do have a lot of coming fresh off the Cav Clash here. We've got a lot of cross-pollination with these leagues, which I'm really excited to see. In addition to our Alpha Touring Challenge regulars, we do have some, I guess, SNS folks and Bonfire Racing League folks joining the fray in these touring cars and adding a little bit to the spice here. This should be a great race to watch. I will note that it is currently in sim time, about 2:15 p.m., and we're running about 8 times speed, like I mentioned, so it'll be about a 9.5-hour race as far as the sim is concerned. So we're gonna see some amazing angles here from the great Pim Luth, I'm sure. But yeah, we've got the drivers working their way around the track right now. And, you talked a little bit about the 2 pit stops there, John. What is the tire fall off like on these front wheel drive racing machines?
85% or lower, you really start to notice the the understeer in the turns, and getting the power down out on the exit of the turns is the more crucial part, and that's where you lose it the most.
And there's going to be a lot of those. That seems like one of these tracks that is crucial for corner exit because, yeah, there's some technical parts, but I mean, as you can see, both on the track map that Kim was showing you on the entry there, but we'll look at the track map here shortly. There's a lot of long straightaways where getting a good exit is probably going to serve you really, really well. And just real quick, can you talk to us a little bit about the drafting of these cars? I'm looking specifically at the Ullman Straight, Sunset Bend, all the way into turn 1 there. That looks like a fantastic opportunity for some potential drafting and overtakes or fuel saving potentially. I don't know.
Yeah, that too. I mean, I haven't really done a whole lot of driving on this track with the TCRs, but it's with the lifting and coasting, and there's a lot of fuel saving that can happen. I'm sure Jerome's been playing the long game as of late, so I'm sure that's what he's planning to do.
Well,
I do love.
He will need to do that because he's currently on that 7th position. It will take him a while to actually go up there. And we do see, you were mentioning John the Slug being a favorite over here. Being on that 3rd position right behind Zverevic, that could be making it very, very interesting. I think we're now onto the straight. People still try to warm up their tires a little bit. This is always a very, very dangerous corners. I've done a couple of races in GT3 over here, and you never know exactly when that that car comes in, and when is the first driver going to go. And look at this. We see that already.
We've already
people
got some bump drafting going on.
We're pushing. I think that's George doing that. All right, and
we are ready to go as we come around Sunset Bend. Yeah.
And I think we are ready to go. Look at this. Swansea Shink immediately goes away. It's a very, very good start. And the Slug is getting that 2nd position over here. Wojak can't hold that. And this is a very dangerous corner. Oh, look at this. Slug is already looking on that inside. Looks like everybody goes through quite nicely.
Nice pre-race briefing there by Slug, I think, helped save a lot of folks' races there. That is a tricky corner as we go through.
Oh, we do see an incident with Ronald Method and Eric Stutzer over there. They did hit each other. Not sure what happened.
Luckily, it looks like it was pretty low speed. Hopefully they can get the ships righted there. But we do have a battle for the lead here as Slug is going to be going down on the outside. That's a tough place to make a pass, but he is letting Francois Schenk know that he is there.
Yeah, very funny to see that those guys again are up. But look at Mats Zepka, currently still in that 5th position. He is really close to this group as well. And basically, who isn't with this group? Because it's one big line over here.
Yeah, the early race incident there, not doing much to break up the pack. You can see a couple people kind of trailing off the tail end, but most of the drivers here still in striking distance.
Yeah, it looks like we see already one big line forming. You do see that a lot more when people are getting a little bit more mature in their racing and trying to, be safe on that first lap. Don, how is that for you when you're in first lap? I know for myself it's always difficult. One thing that I keep improving myself on. How are you doing in first laps?
Trying to take it a little more cautiously. I know last season Slug seemed to be a magnet for me in the first lap. I always seemed to collect his rear bumper.
Yeah, that's not what you want to do. But I don't see many incidents. I want to have a quick look at that part from Ronald Method. What exactly happened over there? So they were coming out of corner 1, and I think it's just a little bit optimistic braking. Yes. And then from Eric Stutzer and Ronald Method goes off track of there as well. But it was a very low speed. So you were right. I don't think there was much damage on it.
No, not too bad at all. And honestly, everybody seems to have sorted themselves out all right. Though we do have some side-by-side racing here for P11 with Logan McKenzie and David Bauer. With David Bauer getting the best of the battle right now, at least for the moment. Cody Hunley waiting in the wings there, but they're going to go side by side down into the hairpin of turn 7. Let's see if Logan McKenzie tries to make a move here on the outside again. Very tough place to do it unless you over-under.
Yeah, he doesn't have that move. He can't, but he can try it over here to get really, really close. And then you again come into a lot of corners, so it's difficult. He really needs to set up this right. But I do think they're losing a little bit of time on the drivers in front of them. If I see that correctly, I think Daniel Sedano is in front of them.
And we've got more side-by-side racing for P20 there. Aaron Law and August Blondell having a great battle. It looks like Aaron Law's going to take the corner, but this race surely not over between these two fantastic drivers.
You do see that August is having a little bit more distance right now. Looking at what Aaron is going to do. Also needs to look, of course, behind him, because that's always the thing with this. Sees there Melody Chance right behind him, and basically I think Fedorowski is there, Zeb, Brenner, Bartnikowski is up there. I also see Jake Ashe, our SNS driver, is a little bit further in the back.
Yeah, Jake had an unfortunate little off track there in the big sweeper of turn 1, and lost a little bit of time there, but was able to collect it. Battle for the lead here, Pim. Let's look up at Slugnificent, looking at Francois Schenk. They are going side by side down across the start-finish line. I don't even know who took that. Maybe Slug. They're going to take this.
Well, Slug is taking it right now in that inside corner. Look at this, and he does make that move stick. That's a really, really impressive one. You need to be confident in that, and this Francois Schenk is immediately going on the inside over there, or at least he was looking. Can't make that move, but look at Verdo Svidovic. He is loving this, because now he is able to get back over there.
Yeah, he's taking Jorge Zuniga with him, by the way, and Matt Shupka holding strong, man. Great showing by Matt Shupka there in
holding strong. He's getting closer and closer. He is really part of that group now. And if they are smart, but I don't think that's going to happen here. The Slug is nearly getting a little bit of hot brakes over there, and has to worry. And you see Francois Schenk giving him the signal, I need to pass, but well, work for it, Francois. It's going to be a hard time. The Slug is really in his element right over here. Oh, big crash on the back. We see Caleb King has crashed. Let's have a quick look what exactly happened. He came into that last corner, was already by himself, and just lost it in that corner. Understeer accident there. John, talk to us a little bit. I'm assuming the touring car is not your first car. Maybe it is. Talk to us a little bit about what it's like driving the front drive cars versus maybe some of the others that the drivers are used to.
I mean, yeah, I definitely have more experience with the TCRs than I do with GT3 or GT4. But it definitely is handles completely differently. Like trail braking is something you really need to learn with these things, and getting either on the brakes or on the throttle is pretty much the whole time. There's barely any lifting and coasting unless you want it to be fuel saving.
Yeah, I cannot wait to give this a shot, because it seems like a completely different entire beast altogether. Yeah, and obviously, you know, I'm really happy though that guys like Caleb are coming out and giving this a shot. Just a very, very different style of racing, just from what I know him, what he's used to. I want to bring up, we got a Melody Chance and Adrian Fedorowski crash there. Tim, if you want to look at that really quick, I just want to give Matt Shupka had the purple lap, but Jerome Bajalaz is going to take that with a 2:14.74. Let's see.
Yeah, we do see the accident right now. Melody was taking this outside, and it's funny, Melody is my team member. Yeah, person in front of her really lost the car over there, and then yeah, that's gonna be over. I hope Melody is gonna do a lot better in, or will have a lot more luck in this race than now, because I'm gonna race with her on Saturday, the Sebring 12 hours.
Oh, there you go. Perfect, man. Yeah, no, that was definitely just taking the outside line, and Adrian just getting a little bit loose there, unfortunately. So, yeah,
Those
wrong
things
place,
happen.
wrong time. Yep, that's racing, as they say. Logan McKenzie right on the bumper of Andrew Little, who we've not talked about Andrew Little, but Andrew Little's up an entire position right now, and holding strong. And just behind them for P13. I'm sorry, P14, we've got Justin Rhodes and Wiley Cox there. Wiley Cox having a great little scuffle. There's still some great battling going on. We still got an hour left in this race there, Pim and John. And these drivers are not, yeah, every position counts, I suppose, yeah.
Yeah, every position counts, and I'm really looking forward to the pit stop strategies. We know Francois Schenk has done a perfect job, and we do see that Logan McKenzie is trying to make a move right now. Going for that position number 10. He's going to be on that inside. Look at that. This is going to be an exciting. Oh, he's going to get help.
Like, let's see, David Bauer's going to make a
we're gonna
3
take a 3
wide.
wide. Oh, yeah, right.
What a move. Holy cow.
Look at that. Logan was trying to make that move, and now he's on the back of that pack, and they're going right. They keep going at it because there's another opportunity over here in corner 1. Can they make that? And I do think that Logan is going to go for that inside move over here. Trying to see if he can take a little up there. No. Codley Hunley is right behind them as well. And he is now
and he's
going to
sneak his nose in there.
Yeah. Nice move from Logan. Gets it done.
Yeah, it's tough to hold your position through those S's there. If you don't have it, the car cleared, you know, the little left, right there.
A little bit further in the front, we see George Zuniga is now really making it difficult for Wojciech. Wojciech Svidovic is on that 3rd position, lost already earlier a position, and now has to fight back to George to not even lose more positions. And this is great for Matt. Matt Zapka is enjoying this race. Look at that, still behind there. Needs to be a little bit careful because race winner Jerome Bajulas is now right behind him. And then there's a little gap for James Carr, and Jacob Whaley is in there as well. And look at that, Daniel Sedeno and then David Bauer. And that's really our top 10. And David Bauer is then really followed immediately with Logan McKenzie, who wants to be in that top 10. And is he going to make that move over there? I saw some action happening. I think that's Andrew Little trying to defend still here. Look at that.
Well, we've got newcomer David Brenner in P24 right now, battling with Ronald Mathot, and this is David Brenner up 3 spots right now, doing a fantastic job in this race. They've got Michael Zepp, and Ray Bartnikowski had just made the pass there on Michael Zepp for P22. Ray Bartnikowski himself having a great race. I do believe he is our hard charger of the evening. At this early stage in the race.
That was a really nice move over there, going to that inside. Also, I do have to say, I think that was Aaron La who gave him a little bit of room. But a nice position change over there. Ray Bartnikowski, I love his scheme page from SNS. And oh, David Brenner. David Brenner goes off. That beautiful car. Really, we missed that corner, and immediately there was a big crash going on. Let's go a little bit in the front. We see Slugnificent is taking a little bit of more distance from Francois Schenk and Wojciech Svidovic.
Oh, but he's going to go...
No.
Nope, never mind.
No. Was he? Where is he?
Did he disappear? Oh, no! His connection dropped due to packet loss.
No.
No.
Oh, no. We had this before with Wojciech Svidovic, and This time it looks like every time it's someone else. I do have to say I have sometimes some troubles as well, but this means that Francois Schenk is taken or has given this first position, and Wojciech Swiatovic and Matzepka is now on the third position, but Matzepka is losing it. Oh no, Matzepka is taking some cones over there and can hold that, and still is on that fourth position, but Jerome Bajolas is suddenly on the third position.
Well, and a little further back here, Jorge Zuniga is way off the pace. He appears to be limping the car around the track as everybody's passing him. I'm not 100% sure what's going on there with Jorge, but holy cow, what a lap or two here that of the action. Just
and yeah, they're still trying to avoid him. I'm gonna have a quick look.
I don't know.
Oh, wow.
I don't even see him in the. I don't see anything happening.
Oh man, I don't even know that a lot of people are completely expecting him to be there. It looks like they're missing him by inches. I don't even know what's
look
happening.
at this, and it looks like he has a flat tire or anything in that way, and it is really a lot of people have to avoid him. But interesting enough to see that he completely drops to 24, and that is could happen. We do see that James Carr actually got the fastest lap to 14.3. Really
Great
quick.
lap there by James Carr. Yeah, fantastic. Hey, Pim, right real quick. 8P8. We're going side by side here with Logan McKenzie, Daniel Sedano, a name we have not really called yet. Daniel Sedano looking to the inside. Can't make it stick, so Cody Hundley's going to make a move on Daniel.
Yeah, and don't stop watching, because right in the back over there we see Andrew Little fighting now really hard with Wiley Cox, and Justin Rhodes is there as well, number 13. Justin Rhodes, number 84 car, is also looking here and actually trying to see if he can make a move.
Well, while we are trying to catch our breath here for just a hot second, let's welcome to the booth Peter Lee. Peter, how's it going tonight?
Hello, Chris. Thanks for welcoming me. I'm very sorry to be 15 minutes late for the race, but I'm so glad to be here. Sebring's one of my favorite tracks, maybe my favorite track, and just dying to see how these touring cars make out here.
Well, you definitely, not to make you feel bad, but yeah, missed a lot so far, but boy, we are only about 15 minutes into this race, so certainly plenty of action remaining to call here.
Yeah, we're currently watching to Matzepka, who's in that fourth position, who had that little mistake and is now really taking that curb a long way, jumping over it, but can hold that car steady. James Carr is really going to look. I'm curious if we're going to see it right now. Is he going to make that move? James has been around Matzepka for quite a while now. It doesn't seem to be. Jacob Wally is right behind them.
What's so interesting is to understand, where the draft sections are. Certainly this back straight would be one of them. Looks like, of course, it didn't quite work out there, but it'll be interesting to see as the race goes on who gets the better exit out of the last turn, that big left-hander coming onto that long back straight.
Well, we are certainly not wanting for action here as James Carr once again makes the move. Looks like Matt Shepka is just going to let him go by, almost like he was standing still there, thinking better of it. Now, I will say we've got 54 minutes at least remaining in the race, so cooler heads prevailing here may be the way to go. There's still a lot of time for anything to happen, especially when you consider.
What you need to do. That's what you need to do. You need to see who's the quicker driver, who's the quicker person. And currently, Matzepka is in that top 5, perfect within range of everybody else over here. I do see that Wally is coming back, and a little bit further back over there, we see, let's have a quick look. David Bauer is now getting into that corner. The number 34. He's a little bit on his own. Logan McKenzie, what happened to Logan?
Oh. On the subject of being strategic, this is also a track, as you know, that has a mixture of tarmac and concrete. And so a big question is what happens to front tire wear, particularly in the first sections, the really twisty bits of this track. Someone like Mashupka might be strategic enough to just also want to nurse his tires a little bit for this long race.
Well, let's talk about tactics, because we of course have Jerome Barjolas, who is just last time with Beaver Buzz energy drink. He was the one that was very tactic in that first stint, and now he has the chance to actually do it in 2 pit stops. So curious to see. Currently on that 3rd position, has James Carr behind him. Matsepka is losing a little bit.
Yeah, it looks like Mashupka is actually in danger of losing this draft of Carr. Just barely hanging on, and he's also got, of course, Wally right behind him.
Yeah, good news for fans from Justin Rhodes. Just overtook Wiley Cox on the straight, and actually makes a lot of speed right now here in that Alpha Tauri. Doesn't have a Honda engine in there, and is going really, really fast. Currently on the 12th position, is 5 positions up.
Just noticing August Blondell and Randy Ruggles are in an epic battle. They're just swapping back and forth for P17 I mean.
Yeah, P17, and actually August Blondell needs to give up that position to Randy Ruggles, because he's really going in there with confidence. Great to see. Has practiced a lot probably for this race, and that shows up here.
They come around this left, right, this left here, slightly off camber, it can be so dangerous. And again, as the tires wear, we're going to have to see if these cars suffer from some understeer.
This is a good place to do something, and I do think that August is going to take a look, but he's a little bit too far. But he does make Randall a little bit scary, and is a little bit off that exit. And you see both of them have not the best line, and instead of winning anything, they lose time on Travis Lapanis, I think it is, on position number 16, who is in a fight with, then we have another one, Sahai Padar. Look at that, Sahai had an incident last race, I still remember that, because I do love that paint scheme, always remembers me of their crashes, but currently he's doing really well, 15th position. He's a BRL team member, I've heard.
Yeah, Padar is having a great drive, but he is under a lot of pressure right now, but he's holding it together. And in fact, I think he's stretched out a little bit more comfortable gap now to Travis Lapanis.
Oh, and we do see that, I do want to have a quick look, Matsepka is now also overtaking, and Jerome was also overtaking Carr. Looks like he had a little bit of a bad exit, and immediately that cost you. Is defending back to Matsepka.
That car might have even facilitated the pass a little bit. Maybe is having a little bit.
Yeah, well, is there an off track, Peter? I don't know. Maybe I should know, but I don't think there's an off track over there.
I'm unaware of an off-track slowdown penalty, but that would explain that behavior if that happened there.
Well, gents, we are at lap 10 now, by the way, so I would imagine that the pit window is open, although we have not seen many takers yet. Just people who have had accidents, I guess, so that doesn't really count, but keep your eye open here for some potential.
I have to say, Chris, these cars look really good on this track. I mean, they are handling, I would expect on some of these corners because, Pim and I are racing GT3 cars here right now, preparing for the Sebring 12, and the GT3 cars are prone to some understeer, some pretty bad understeer in some of these corners, and you would expect these cars to be even more so. Oh, and we, of course, are really enjoying this battle here. Justin Rhodes. Looking very, very racy.
Yeah, he took that position like it was nothing, and that is the best pace to overtake, but I don't think this fight is yet done. Little is not taking any chances, is immediately back up there.
Anyway, Pim, I was wondering if these front drive cars would have even more serious problems at this track. since they are a little bit more prone to understeer than the rear drive GT3 cars, but it doesn't look like it just watching them on track.
No, it doesn't look like that at all. They're doing really, really well. But look at this. Rhodes is actually taking a little bit more advantage out of that corner. And that's a really good way to defend. Attack when you don't, when you're not in danger. And this is really, really looking good for him. Look at that. Goes in that corner. Knows what he needs to do with that AlphaTauri. And goes really, really well in. Oh, and goes into the pits. Is he going into the pit? No, he's not going into the pits. Oh, that was a really close entry.
Dave Bauer and Andrew Little, however, are going into the pits. So those will be our first
very
takers.
Interesting line, and in fact, we're seeing lots of different lines in that final turn.
Yeah, currently we're going with our race leaders. We see Francois Schink and Wojciech Swidovic going into the hairpin. They're still together, missing the slug for sure. And Bajulaz is right behind there, is missing a little bit and needs to hold off from James Carr. And still Mazepka and Jacob Wally is in there as well. So that's really the fight for position number 3.
John, I've been meaning to ask you this. A lot of times we see these packs form in these Alpha Touring Challenge races. When you're basically sandwiched there in between a driver you're trying to pass, who maybe you feel like you got a little bit more pace on, ooh, no, we've got contact there. We've got a wreck. It looks like Caleb King trying to stay clear, but he's going to collect Cody Hunley and Daniel Sedano. Looks like Logan McKenzie was able to just barely collect the car there.
Whoa.
Best of intentions there by Caleb King, but...
Well, Daniel Sedano had very much lucky. Maybe that wasn't the best thing, but yeah, he did got... a safe car, and his car is still clean, so that's a very good thing. Because John, do they have a fast repair available for them?
Yeah, they should have at least one fast repair.
All right.
It did look
that on their
like
first pit stop there.
yeah, it looked like he wanted to do the right thing, but once he got on the grass, he was just unable to stay off the track at a dangerous
All right,
spot.
we see more people coming in. Jerome Bajulaz, Mazepka, and Jacob Wally are all in the pit right now.
And leader Francois Schink, or no longer leader Francois Schink, I should say. So yeah, John, sorry, we got a little distracted there. We've got a lot of stuff happening. Of course, I picked the exact wrong time, as almost everybody and their brother and sisters.
Oh, and we
down
do
the
see
road now, but
one other thing. We do see that there are people actually taking tires. So there's a different strategy going on. Francois Schink is already out, but is that Jerome Bajulaz who's up in the tires?
Well, yeah, Jerome's definitely taking tires, so he's got a pretty lengthy pit stop.
Oh, and that could be very good for Mazepka, who doesn't take any tires and is now already going out. And we see Jerome and Jacob Wally following right behind them.
So we'll want to keep a close eye on the lap time differential between Jerome Bajulaz and the others, Francois Schink and Matt Shepka, just to see if Jerome gains an advantage to get that time that he lost in the pit back on track.
well, so John, granted you have not been practicing for this particular track with the TCRs, but we're 26 minutes into this race here. What is your sense of the tire wear at this point in the race, and not taking tires? Is that something that you would do, or is that risky, or maybe not so much?
At this point in the race, I think it's still pretty manageable. If I was, I haven't done any practice on this track with this temperatures or anything yet, but if I was racing, I would have probably done a quick splash and dash, and then get back out there and then do a full gas tank on the next step, and then take tires then.
All right, and while you guys were talking, we're looking at Justin Rhodes, who just basically can't stop attacking and is now here in a three-way battle and is making that pass. No, he doesn't make that pass. Look at that. Sedano is really defending hard and makes the defending work for him. Great defending, but Rhodes isn't done yet. That guy keeps moving up.
Yeah, Justin Rhodes is having a really busy race.
We do see that
And,
Wojciech Svidovic and James Carr are into the pit. And I do see that James Carr is also taking new tires.
Really interesting to see these differences in pit strategy.
For sure.
And I guess John, to your earlier point, this is a longer race, and so maybe with longer stints, maybe taking tires does pay off.
Now look at this,
Yeah.
and Wojciech Svidovic is out of the pit, takes that first position. François Schenk is right behind there, but then we see Medzepka also getting in there really now on that third position. Sorry, John, continue here, sorry, but interesting
No, it's okay.
development.
Well, it's really interesting, the lead now being 2.3 seconds, even though the difference in pit lane times between really the top three there almost nil. Matt Shepka though on par with the top two. Everybody else 56, 58 seconds, maybe 51 seconds. So yeah, clearly this is I mean, ultimately we'll see if taking fuel only was the right way to go. But
Well, just watching Jerome Bajulas in P5, he is right up to James Carr and closing fast, and he is looking faster on track right now. So maybe the fresh tires are making the difference here.
Yeah, that was very close to make a move on Jay Carr, and I think he took the safety route over there. But that's not going to happen in the next turn. I think the best opportunity is straight after the long ways. And here they come preparing for this. And look at this, how close he gets already.
Definitely has the faster car right here, but he has to be patient. Really, his best opportunity will be on this straight. He can get a better exit.
Yeah, and do you guys see that that sun is slowly going down? Because that's another thing, with that 8 times, we are going to drive also in a real dark environment. But currently...
and I will say, I don't know if you guys have practiced this, but they don't call it sunset bend for nothing there, that final bend before the start finish line. That sun can really start to play a factor here as the angle gets a little bit steeper.
Well, for the camera views, it's only nice. We do see that Bajulas couldn't make that move in the first corner. Is now going to try to see if he can get really close to make sure that he can make a move in the second one. And oh, I hear some cars punching that wall, but looks like everything goes fine. Is Jerome going to make that move? No, he's not. He's not. He's quicker, but he can't make that move. It's really good defending from James Carr over here on that fourth position. 4 positions up where he was.
Yeah, James Carr is really holding it together well.
But is he holding it now,
Oh.
Peter? Is he holding it now? But now they're coming up. Look at this, and Jerome does make that unusual overtake right over there.
Yeah,
That really shows how much speed he actually has.
yeah, just
And he's
a little
now
bit too
looking
much
for-
pressure.
Yeah,
Pim, was that a commentator's curse thrown by you or by me? I think that was you.
that would definitely be
Finally.
you for sure. And we see David Bauer going into the corner and actually taking a position over here from, I think, Daniel Sedeno. But Daniel Sedeno says no. Or he does. No, they're still going side by side.
The attempt at the over-under didn't quite, well, boy.
Well, he can still do it over here, but no, and look at that, because that's the scary factor. Justin Rhodes is behind there. Justin Rhodes at 6 positions up, and he fought for all those 6 positions. He has really been fighting hard, and Daniel Sedeno has seen him enough and enough.
Well, that actually, I want to circle back to that there, John. This was the original question I tried to ask you about 7 laps ago. When you're trying to attack, it does seem like these packs form, and suddenly you're also having to defend. So what percentage of your brain do you, dedicate to trying to attack, and what percentage do you dedicate to trying to defend?
Yeah, I mean, usually when I come to the braking zones, looking on the offensive, and then on the corner exit, I'm looking in the mirrors to see how far the car behind me is. But it can get really frustrating if trying to follow or catch the cars in front of you. I mean, you could really work together and gain speed and gain time, but if they're not cooperating, it doesn't work that way.
Well, they're not working together. Justin Rhodes is just looking every time into Daniel Sedeno, and Daniel Sedeno says no the whole time. So they're fighting hard. This
Real
is
quick
really
update. Matt Shepka got a little loose on the curbing through Sunset Bend and ended up losing 2 positions. Ultimately, no contact or anything like that, so he will recover, but very unfortunate.
Oh, let's have a quick look. Can I see that happening?
Sean Gerd got a little loose on the curbing as well. Not so lucky because there's actual curbing where he got loose, and so he's going to suffer some damage, unfortunately, entering pit road now.
I was going to make the comment that Justin Rhodes looks a lot like you, Pim. Just attacking.
It is. I like that guy, and having an AlphaTauri doesn't make it even worse. That's a really good sign. That guy has taste. I can tell you, but he's especially fighting hard. And this time, finally, he overtook Daniel Sedeno. Took him like I think at least 5 laps, but he is past him, and now immediately looking if he can pass David Bauer. But I will take a little bit longer, I think, or at least I hope for David Bauer. James Carr, how is he doing? Is he holding on to Jerome Bajulas and François Schenk?
Well, I think Jerome is just making as good use of his fresh tires as possible. He's still quite a bit behind François Schenk, but he has made his way back up to P3. So he's made that strategy work out so far, at least.
Well, yeah, he still has to make a lot of time up. I'm not sure if that's gonna happen. We do see still some fighting in the back. Go back to Daniel Sedeno and Wiley Cox, and it is Daniel Sedeno in that fight who actually can hold it.
That seemed like an amicable pass solution. I think there was some race radio going on there as well. I'm not sure what that was all about there, but either way, they get cars sorted, and everybody's happier for it.
I was just thinking, because they are still fighting, but looks like
August Blundell had an issue there and is falling down the order. I'm not too sure what happened. He's now running down in P9.
So he
got
loose in Sunset Bend, got his rear end into the corner. Saha Padiar also ended up. I forget. I don't know what turn that was in, but he got on the curbing. This curbing seemed. Oh no, he got onto the grass. I'm sorry, he got onto the grass and ended up.
And then you think you can have it, and then you just lose it again and go straight into that wall. Well, great driving from him so far. Too bad from that incident.
Yeah, boy. And that is such a dangerous corner. Yeah, and he had the left wheels fully on the grass, but even if you just get half of your tires there on the grass, it's so dangerous.
Yeah, and look at this. I do think that Wojciech Swiatovic has pressed the button. He's going to go undercover with his black car, because we do see the sun is going down now a little bit more. I'm curious to see what other drivers can actually see him. He is driving 2.5 seconds away from François Schenk. So that's also not really a fight. Wojciech Swiatovic is really coming back. And that's great to see after last race where he had to stop like the slug. I don't know, John, do we have any drop weeks?
Yeah, there should still be 2 drop weeks in the season.
All right. Well, that's good news to hear for him.
Just keeping a close eye on the gap that Jerome Bajulas has to make up to catch up to François Schenk, and it really hasn't budged. It's been about 14.5 seconds with really no change. And so whatever advantage Jerome might have had from having fresher tires, I think has faded by now.
Yeah, Matt Sepka is
fast enough over Francois just to start easing that gap just a little bit, but there's still one pit stop left. And yeah, didn't mean to interrupt you there. Matt Shepka had looked to the inside there, I'm sorry, outside of James' car. Does look like he's going to settle in and follow him through the S's there and maybe try once again. But after that spin off Sunset Bend, it looks like he's trying to regain those positions that he had lost.
But I think a really good place so far, Matt Zepka, still where he qualified. With this kind of field, I would be very happy if you can get a top 10 in here. Even our race champion Logan McKenzie on 8th position, currently 2 positions up, and needs to look into the back of Cody Huntley, who's on the 7th and is 6 positions up.
Justin Rhodes continues to apply pressure, and he's in P10 and just closing in on Bauer in P9 in the 34 car. It's I think he's just really able to kind of kick it up a notch if he's able to read the lettering on the rear bumpers of another car. It just seems to draw him in.
Well, we are officially past the halfway point. We kind of missed that a couple minutes ago, but we've got just about 31 minutes remaining in the race. So one more pit stop and potentially some tire changes, maybe some not, depending on who took what the first time around. But yeah, we have seemed to stabilize. The closest battle that we have for position right now is Jerome, James, and Matt there for the last podium spot, which will be something to watch here as we continue on. And I'm just realizing now that the TCR cars have the position LEDs on them, which is awesome. Love that. Makes it super easy to see who's in what spot.
The dusk is fading here, and it's going to be nighttime soon. It's looking beautiful, in fact.
Love. Yeah, some other great battles. We've got Ray Bartnikowski in P13. Ray quietly sneaking his way up. Oh, just behind him though, look at us, Andrew Little and Aaron Law. Sorry, Ray having a fantastic race, but Andrew and Aaron putting on a better show, at least for the moment. You can see Aaron Aaron and Ray.
Aaron takes that position right over there. Really nice. And that's a little bit of daredevil move where you just have to go blind into that corner and trust that you know that you're there.
Yeah. And you have to have a little bit of trust in the other car that they'll leave you room, but these guys are pretty respectful that way.
Aaron up 10 spots, Ray ahead of him up 17, and the matching paint schemes leads you to know these guys are teammates, so we'll see how much pressure Aaron's going to try to put on Ray at the end of the event.
Well, I do know
we
that...
got
Yeah, go ahead.
Adrian Fedorowski was off track. Oh, it looks like maybe he was just trying to stay out of the way of the leaders battling. So
that's a drastic move to go out of the way, but it did work. And we do see François Schink getting a little bit closer to Wojciech Swiatovic. Is there going to be a fight at the end? We still have quite a bit of time left. So I'm curious to see François Schink. He is getting a little bit closer, or is that just my eyes? With this light.
Well, he's not getting. Yeah, he's not getting too much further away. It's still 2.5 seconds, so he's within striking distance, especially if you consider the potential pit stop coming up. And so I would not count.
And look at Matt Zepka is now completely on the back of James Carr, who is on the back of Jerome Bajalous for 3rd position. All of them do really well.
I'd be interested to ask John if he has experience here. One thing about Sebring is it's not a completely well-lit track, particularly in the back sections. And some of the chatter on the Discord for the league, was talking about the challenges of driving here at night. Do you think it's going to have an effect on lap times and racecraft?
Well, it's definitely going to have an effect on lap times for sure. I mean, it's always easier to drive when you can see where you're going. But I mean, I've never driven this track at night, to be honest. So
No,
Yeah,
that
it's
is completely different. I do have to say, Peter, what I really like on driving at night is that the sides are all lighted up. We can have a quick look if we can see that when we drive with the car. We drive along here with Jerome Bajulas, and then you can see actually the whole field is lighting up a little bit.
Yeah, this track does
Yeah.
have nice reflectors on the edges of the roadway, which is very helpful. That's not true for every racetrack. That definitely looks pretty good. And to your point, Pim, just seeing some of the signs lit up, that's also helpful.
And I will say, for the folks at home who have not driven at night at all on iRacing or racing at all, you can see, you can kind of see things, but you really kind of need to know what the track is doing. Like you can see the cues, but you're not going to be able to go out there and just be able to turn
look at
laps
this.
cold. So
We see James Carr getting really close now. I do think it's time to have a quick look on that inside, and James Carr is going to do that, or is he going to hold off? Seems that he's holding off.
Definitely, yeah, he's losing pace. He's lost a full second to Francois Schenck up ahead in P2. So, and James Carr, that's allowing him to really catch up and apply a lot of pressure here. Matt Shupka also in the mix there.
Mix holding strong. Matt Shepka just set the purple lap of the evening. Holy cow!
Look at that, 2:13.
That's 7-8.
And look how close James Carr is going through that first corner. Makes that work really well. Needs to fight to stay with Jerome Bajulas. Yeah, I would do the same thing. Just hold on to him. He has a good strategy, and he has new tires, so he should be really fast.
While we're watching this battle, the rest of the field is pretty well spread out, although there is a battle between Method and Ruggles for P16. And I've just been keeping one eye on Randall Ruggles as he's been trying to close the gap for that 16th spot. And you know, he gains some on the twisty sections and then loses a little bit, I think, on the longer straights. And so there's a little bit of a struggle there, but we'll want to keep a close eye on that and see how that develops.
Getting a fantastic view of Randall Method's brakes just glowing right now from the heat. These guys working hard to maintain their position in the race, but yeah, absolutely. And by the way, we've also got another great I guess group here. Logan McKenzie, we haven't talked about in a while, holding down P8 with David Bauer and Justin Rhodes in close trail for those spots. All of these guys up 2, 3, and 7 spots respectively. But still the winner of the evening so far, Ray Bartkowski there in 13th. He's up 17 spots overall, having a great run.
Really impressive drive that Ray is having, and you know, he's overdue for a strong finish, and so this might be his night.
Well, I think Wojciech heard us because he just set the purple lap of the evening and trying to extend that lead out to 3 seconds now over Francois Schenck, and yeah, looking pretty strong at the moment. So obviously the driver to beat, but our battles are still unfolding, like we said. Jerome holding on to that final podium position, but James Carr and Matt Shepka still, again, we're waiting right there for any mistakes.
A question I have for John on these cars is there any aero wash effect? You know, especially in these twisty sections, if you're following a car closely, do you get more understeer than normal? What does that feel like?
I haven't really noticed that, but if you are battling and you are going back and forth a lot like that, you can really tear up the front tires and lose the life in them really quick.
Really interesting, because you know, just keeping that eye on that battle for P3, sometimes it looks like James Carr and Matt Shepka get really close, but then they kind of struggle in some of the corners and trying to stay close to Jerome Bajula. So Jerome is managing to hold on to that P3 spot and manage the roughly half-second gap to the cars behind.
Sometimes it comes down to just whatever. Oh, and we're going to have a pass here. It does look like Logan McKenzie in P8 and David Bauer. David Bauer had to look to the inside going through turn 10 and 11 there. Unable to make it stick, though. And with that battling going on, Justin Rhodes had fallen back just a little bit, but he's going to re-contact the pack there. But, yeah, they're going to, I guess, file back out into their original positions. But you can see here, David Bauer super hungry for that 8th spot. And we'll see if he can't make that happen, get a good exit here off of turn 16 Le Mans, and come down Ullman Straight. Ooh, getting in that grass, man. He's using every inch of that track.
Yeah, and now the fight is going on. Look at that. They're waving through that straight to remove the draft. But it's not going to work, and they are really, really fighting hard. I'm curious if Logan can hold this on. It's curious to see the third car, Rhodes, his tires are not that... Oh, we do see someone going into the pit.
That's
Bauer
David
is going
Bauer.
into the pits.
So he's done with that. He's done with that battle. He's going to take his last pit. We got 21 and a half minutes remaining, so that makes sense for the timing. And I do believe that officially opens up our pit window for the second fuel stop. Andrew Little will join him down on lap 21 of the race.
And so we would expect the drivers who did not take tires in that first go around, we would expect them to take tires this time around. And it'll be interesting to see if Jerome Bajulas, who did take tires in his first pit stop, if he tries to have a short fuel, he'll need a little bit less fuel to finish the race, and if he will try to double stint his tires.
Well, we see Andrew Little as taking tires. So, and I saw a couple of people in the beginning are not taking tires, so there's completely different strategies going on. We're driving currently along with Francois Schink completely in the dark, is all by himself. 3.4 seconds from Wojciech Swiatovic.
That gap continues to expand, but once again, anything can happen. We've seen a lot more happen in a lot less time. With
I'm not hoping it. Come on, let's not do this, Chris. We know how dangerous your words are. Let's not do this.
Well,
I'm looking at
going down pit road, so we're gonna get our we're gonna
ahead.
get our answer here real quick.
Well, I'm curious if that second group with Jerome, James, and Matt Zepka also saw that happening, and if they are choosing the same tactic or are they doing something else. I do see Jerome is going in as well. So look at that, he's also going into the pit. And Francois Schink.
James was the only one of that group, who decided to stay out. So Jerome and Matt.
I don't see any new tires going on. I don't see any new tires going on. So that's a different strategy. And what is Jerome going to do? Is Jerome Bajus again going up? No, he's staying down as well.
Yeah, he's going to double stint those tires. And so this is, I think, his strategy. And I think that this second fueling stop, requires less fuel because you just need enough to finish the race. You don't need to top up. So this could really be a very fast pit stop for him using this strategy.
Yeah, Matt Zepka's trying to hold on to Bajulas, but is a little bit further back. I'm curious if Wojciech Swiatovic, when he's coming in, he's known for his long stints. And why would you come in if you're in that first position?
Yeah, I think if you're running strong, there's really no need to come in early. You can wait till the end of the fueling window, minimize the amount of time you need in that pit stop. Boy,
Your top three right now still have.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say the top three are the ones who have yet to pit. So Francois Schink right now is the driver to keep your eye on with regards to Wojciech and where they end up meeting. We'll see if. Oh no. Well, actually, let's see. Wojciech's going to come around Sunset Bend here. This will be his opportunity to pit if he decides to.
No, he's not going
And
to.
it does
No.
not appear that he's going
Full
to. So we'll
speed.
do one more round.
Full speed ahead, he is. And James Carr is now in that second position. Oh, Svidovic actually put a 2:13.2 in there as a
I was
half
going to
lap.
say,
Oh,
you
what
weren't
happens
joking
to,
about full speed ahead.
what happened in corner 1? Oh, people went into the pits.
Yeah. Looks like Wiley
Well, we
Cox.
got great.
under-
Oh, we got contact. P12, P11.
Right.
Daniel Sedano.
Yeah.
Sorry, Peter. Is that what you were talking about?
It just looked like something was going to happen because Daniel Sedano was putting incredible pressure on Wiley Cox, and I was just wondering, are they going to bump draft here?
Ooh,
or
and we
what?
got we got the flashing going on. Oh man, we got some great banter. This is the content that I'm here for.
Wow.
This is going to be one to watch here. Let's see if Daniel Sedano.
He's catching up again. Looks like he's trying to set up a second attempt at this.
There is something in the back happening, but we're still looking. Ray Bartnikowski and Justin Rhodes crashed. Look at that. I'm gonna go a little bit further back. We see Justin getting really close. Ray Bartnikowski gets close, and then they just hit each other, and it's over
Yeah, it
for
looks
both
like
of
Justin
them.
maybe got into the grass, was trying to save it, and Ray just he was not anticipating that, and yeah, just had nowhere to go at that point.
Yeah, I think once Justin Rhodes was on the grass, Justin had to lift the throttle, and Ray unfortunately had nowhere to go.
Well, you know, whatever he thinks, Justin Rhodes had a great race until this 24th lap, and is still driving, so anything is still possible. We're currently looking at Daniel Sedano with Wiley Cox driving in front of him for that 10th position. Who's going to be in that top 10?
Yeah, this is super entertaining. I think I'm going to just watch this for the rest of the race here. You guys can look at this. I can't believe after all this time, we got 15 and a half minutes remaining, and these guys actually, they have both pit twice, so this is it. This is the battle for their position here between
Just
Wiley Cox and
Wojciech Swidovic is in the pits.
Oh,
And,
there you go. And James Carr.
Yep. Right.
So let's see where Francois is. He is coming around Sunset Bend right now. Across the start-finish line here shortly. Boom. And Wojciech is already way out. That was only a 13.87 second pit stop for Wojciech, so.
Yeah, just really
gap is
just
still
a
gonna be a
quick
second.
splash of fuel for these second stops, at least for the ones that change tires on their first go-around.
But James Carr did a really fast time as well. He's 4 seconds quicker than Francois Schink, and can hold on to that third position from Jerome Bajolas. So that's going to be an interesting one. Is Jerome coming any closer to J. Carr?
Yeah, it's a 4-second gap right now, and so we'll keep a close eye on how that gap develops. You know, the
Well, you
other
can see everybody's pretty.
yeah, people are pretty spread out, but I'm seeing Ray Bartnikowski has gathered it back together and is now seriously pressuring Randall Ruggles for P15.
Yeah, they're going to go side by side through Sunset Bend, which is no easy task.
Yeah, but I do think that Ray Bartnikowski took the wrong line. Ray Ruggles, Ruggles is really having a great run over there and can hold this first position. And now it's really, can Ray do anything? He's gonna try over here. Look at this. He's going for that inside line, making it work. Oh, nice move, Ray Bartnikowski. Really great move of him up here for that 15th position. Takes that from Randy Ruggles.
That was some really brave driving and really well done by Ray Bartnikowski. I'm sure he's fuming mad, and driving mad is showing on the track.
Well, Justin Rhodes, if he looks anything like me, he would do the same. And he's now looking to Aaron Lan, little in front of him, 12 and 13 position. Do you think he's going to come back? Because he looks quick the whole time already.
He certainly does. And
Quick update, Travis Lapenas got loose in Sunset Bend, went into the inside wall, and looks like he suffered a little bit of damage there, so I think he'll have to go down pit road. Michael Zepp had a great view of it and barely missed him, so that was a good on Michael there. But yeah, unfortunate for him, having a pretty strong run, and there you go. Anyway, back to Wiley Cox, Daniel Sedano. They are side by side through Sunset Bend. Let's see. It looks like Daniel Sedano is going to be able to pull off what Ray Bartnikowski was trying to pull off, but what? Let's see. Wiley Cox is going to come right back at him. They're going to go
and this
do
is
a drag race
who
right down
has
the
the
front
most
stretch.
confident in that first corner. And it looks like Daniel Sedino is really pulling it in there, going first in. And then you do have the right for that exit, but immediately have to defend, because otherwise he's coming back, and Wiley Cox is doing that right over here. And are they making contact? No, they're not making contact. Look at this, really, really close racing. Daniel Sedano is defending really well, and Wiley Cox need to pass and go behind him. I'm looking a little bit further back. Andrew Little is under pressure of Aaron La, who is trying to gain that 12th position.
Aaron Law in P13 has been hunting down Aaron Little, just consistent half-second behind, but you just get the sense that Aaron can just get a little better exit onto this back straight, that he might really be able to close up the gap.
Yeah, the gaps are getting bigger and bigger.
As the time gets smaller and smaller here, we got 10.5 minutes left in this race.
Wojciech Swiatovic just put up the fastest time again. Look at that. He doesn't want to stop, does he?
Boy.
I got 10 more minutes. I'm going to go quicker.
On that gap for Jerome Bojulas in P4 to James Carr in P3, Jerome has been steadily chipping away at it, chipping away 2 or 3 tenths of a second per lap. He's within 3.4 seconds right now. He'll need to do something more than that if he wants a chance to get that last podium spot before the end of the race. But he is slowly closing the gap.
Yeah, I think he was actually doing a little bit quicker. I think it was his quickest lap of the race so far. See big differences. Logan McKenzie currently 8th position, 2 positions up from where he started, but that's not how you want to start a season. We can talk about Formula 1, Chris, but Logan McKenzie also doesn't have his night. But it's a long season. It's a long season, and also in Formula 1. Pay attention on that one. We'll come back.
100% long season. As John mentioned, there are drop weeks. You obviously hate to use them up, at least mentally use them up this early in the season. But we've seen them all do some fantastic things here over the course of the entire, said season long, over the course of the entire race season. But I mean, these gaps just keep getting bigger and bigger. I think everybody's kind of settled into where they're going to be. Really, the biggest battle we have on track right now is Andrew Little and Aaron Law for that 11th spot. Justin Rhodes is right behind them, as is Ray Bartnikowski, so I don't think that this battle is completely over just yet, but
all right,
that'll be one to watch here.
To 12.3.
Wow.
He's just showing off now.
He's just showing up. He's 12 seconds ahead, and but also Francois Schenk is still improving his times over there. So amazing to see how far they can push it. We're 8 minutes left from the finish. Currently watching Adrian Fedorowski on 25th position. He's right in that battle with Andrew Little and Aaron La.
Yeah, he's actually might play a factor there. You know, just talking about Wojciech Swiatovic, you know, he's really under no pressure. Those 2:12 laps are his safe laps, which is really incredible. And just an update, the Jerome Bajulas had closed up the gap to James Carr under 3 seconds. He's lost a little bit. He's back to a 3.4 second gap to James Carr. You know, I think something's going to happen to James Carr for Jerome Bajulas to have a shot at that third podium spot.
Getting harder and harder to see who's battling who now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just see some lights coming past. I will be honest with you. We're currently looking at Wiley Cox and Daniel Sedano.
Yeah. Well, and Aaron Law has now closed up the gap completely to Aaron Little, and is right up on the bumper side by side.
Ooh, I would have expected that he would be really side by side, but takes the safe route, knows that it's not the end of the race, and knows he needs to hold off a little bit because he can't wait, because right behind them is still Justin Rhodes, 3 positions up from where he started. The Alpha Tauri up here. Maybe there's a chance for him to come back into that fight. And then, of course, a little bit further back, Raybert Mikowski, 15 positions up. I think on my place, he's our hard charger of the day. Really, really well done.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, a little over 2 minutes a lap here, 6 minutes remaining. So Wojciech has already started this lap. So yeah, I mean, we're in the 2, 3, 4 lap somewhere range there. Your opportunities are becoming less and less, especially when you talk about the difficult racing that we have on this track and passing opportunities. So all of these, specifically the drivers who are close to each other, but you know, it's got to be very frustrating to see a car's brake lights in front of you and just trying to chase it down, knowing that they're within contact, but just nothing you can do.
No, and Daniel Sedino is also not getting any closer to David Bauer. David Bauer is really holding on to that 9th position for his dear life, and is now getting really, really close. Oh, this is going to be an interesting fight for that last 6 minutes. Look at that.
But Daniel Sedano is he's looking desperate to find a way around the 34
Yeah, and he's
car.
not doing it, so I'm going back to Aaron Law, because I think Aaron Law might have a better opportunity with Andrew Little.
Well, I just saw sparks flying around Sunset Bend there between these two. Aaron Law trying to send it to the inside there, and they made contact and able to keep the cars straight. But yeah, these guys trading paint, as they say.
Under 5 minutes to go, so there's no time to waste. You've got to make your move soon.
Well, Dennis Sedano needs to do it right now, but he's a little bit too far behind, still in that draft, so there is anything possible. And then Aaron Law a little bit further back, still trying to get to Little. Andrew Little is defending this whole race already, and still Aaron Law is not going to pass over here.
We do have another late race desperation battle flaring up for P18, currently held by the 29 car Method, but Sean Gerd has really closed up the gap, and that's turning into a really close battle.
I do think that they are actually BRL GT3 guys, so great to see them over here and fighting together for position. Great paint scheme as far as I can see it. But a good yellow is never wrong.
not enough glow in the dark, but yeah, I guess that's true for all the paint schemes. I want to look back real quick here just at Brandon Shelton too. He's in P20 up 8 spots, and give a shout out to him coming out and doing the road racing. He's one of my oval teammates, BRL guy as well, so I'd be remiss if I didn't give him a shout out there. And just trying to get better at the road racing aspect of things and putting on a heck of a show here, really representing the oval guys.
Oh,
Yeah,
he's
it
having
looks.
a great fun.
I was just thinking, he looks very solid. He's found his way. Is he now driving behind Francois Schenk? Yes, he is. Well, that's a good learning school. Seeing what his
There you
lines
go,
are
yeah.
right over there. Francois
I can
Schenk
take
on
that.
that second position. 14
While we're
seconds
talking
behind.
about, good drives in P21, Melody Chance also driving really solid. And, you know, Pim, she's our GT3 teammate. And so it's great to see her getting all this Sebring track experience.
I know. She did have an incident earlier where it wasn't her fault. I want to make that absolutely clear. She tried to avoid an incident and got tangled up on that. The car looks pretty nice. And she's going into these last 3 minutes on the 21st position. I don't think she's going to gain anything else anymore. The fight for position number 10. Or actually the fight for number 9. How's that going? David Bauer and Daniel Sedeno.
Oh, Daniel
It
Steno
better be
really-
going pretty good because I don't want to get this wrong like we did last night for the SNS, but I do believe Barney is waving the white flag there for Wojciech.
Yeah, I do want to mention that I was the one who got it right. Don't want to call out names, but
I admit, I think it was my fault.
it was very
So
very
we got
funny to see.
one-
But Wojciech, I didn't see any flags, but I wouldn't see any flags. It's too dark right over here.
Barney needs some light up batons, but I do believe we are on the last lap here. Just so you know, any positions for battle here, I do believe this will be the last one. So the David Bowers, Daniel Sedanos, Ray Bartnikowski, Justin Rhodes, Sean Gerd, Ronald Method. These are the last opportunities to gain a little bit more points.
Well,
there.
the fight with David Bauer and Daniel Sedeno is going on onto that last corner, and you can gain a lot and but then you lose a lot on that exit if you hold it on to that way, and that's not the way to get there. And they're all getting the white flag up here. But this is going to be an interesting fight now. We have David Bauer, Daniel Sedeno, and Wiley Cox going into that last round. They can really make it up. That's going to be who's going to be in that top 10. Wojciech is driving all alone. I don't think I even see him anymore. He's just all alone in the dark. Probably has his radio on.
Oh. And earlier, I'm not sure what turn that was, but teammates, Ronald, we were just talking about him, Sean Gerd and Ronald Method. It looked like Sean Gerd got into the rear quarter panel going into the turn entry there for Sean Gerd turned him.
Oh,
So,
yes,
there you
we
go.
see that. We
That's
see
one
that going
battle.
on. Well, I don't want to go into that team meeting. That's going to be an interesting one to discuss. Currently, we're looking at Wojciech Swiatovic, who is going to go over the finish line right here, going into that last corner, and probably still tries to see if he can set the best time, but is really going on very, very strong, and he has that first position. Yes, he does. 2:12. He does the fastest time on the last lap.
What
That
a
guy
commanding
doesn't know how to stop. Francois Schenk is coming over the finish line. Is there any more fights going on? I see James Carr, congratulations on that third position. Jerome Bajulas, fourth. I don't see any big battles going on. Of course, we see one big battle, and that's David Bauer and Daniel Sedeno. Let's go over there. Let's see, what can they still do? What can they bring us to us?
It's looking like Daniel Sedeno is just a little too far back to really make a lunge in any of these corners. Very, very difficult to do, and you know it'll all come down to the final back straight.
Yeah, I don't see much going on over here. I think they're all a little bit too far away, or you really need to make a plunge, and I don't think it is going to happen right over here. Look at this. They're hitting each other. Oh, I'm not sure if that's going to go very well. That's going to be an
Whoa.
interesting one going David.
And then Little and Aaron Law coming to the end.
Oh, and are they going to do the same thing? They are going to do the same thing. They're also bouncing doors over there. Wow, suddenly
And just
it's
behind
very
them,
feisty.
Justin Rhodes and Ray Bartnikowski having a little
Wow, Justin
drag
Rhodes.
race to the line there. Justin Rhodes gonna pull it out, yeah. Or no, wait, did Ray? Yeah, no, Justin Rhodes gonna pull that out.
Justin
Okay.
Rhodes just
I know
got
where the
it,
start
yeah.
finish line is.
Wow, this has me terrified for our Sebring 12 race, Pim.
Well, I got a little feisty in the end suddenly. I was a little bit surprised by that. But of course, in the end, Vijay Swerdovic comes in as leader. Congratulations for him. Nice recovery from last race. Jerome Bajolas, 4th position, 3 positions up. But I do want to say Matt Zepka really surprised me. What a great move from him.
Fantastic
Yeah,
drive.
this was a lot of
all around.
fun. An hour and 10-minute race that felt like it lasted about 3 minutes just because how much fun we were having here. And some great battling throughout the field. Some great performances. Yeah, Aaron Law up 12. Oh no, Ray Bartnikowski still up 15. Believe that he's the hard charger of the evening. We've got folks. First-time racers. We've got, Wojciech just dominating once again. This race had a little bit of everything.
It did. And I do have to say a special shout out for Justin Rhodes. What a fun driver is that. Great battles. Really looking forward to see what he can do in this championship. I'm curious to see what we can do against Vojtěch Swerdovic, because that's going to be a thing. John, what do you have? What will be the tactic? Is John still there, or is John already fallen off his bed?
Well, we do have Logan McKenzie in the interview booth right now. Chris, why don't you take it away?
Yeah, Logan, that was a lot of fun to watch, man. I don't know what it was like for you guys down on the track, but especially as the sun started setting, I just want to get your take on what the race was like.
Definitely a marathon. It felt longer than it was just because of how just chaotic the weather conditions were. We went from 40 degrees Celsius temps to mid 20s and over the span of like 5 laps, and that's just such combined with running low on fuel and tires getting worse, you're really feeling out the track brand new every single lap.
And we talked a little bit about tire strategy. What was your did you have a plan going into it, and did you stick to that?
Yeah, the plan was to not take tires because the pit stops are situated kind of at the 33 and 66% marks, which doesn't leave you a good spot to change onto a fresh set of tires. So I just went ahead and took fuel, and it worked out.
Very good. Well, who else it worked out for tonight was Matt Shepka coming home with a top 5 here in the Alpha Touring Challenge. Matt, tell us about what the race was like for you.
It was really good, and then really bad, and then okay.
What was the really bad?
It felt like you guys were looking at me in the middle of my second stint because it was almost a comedy of errors for 2 entire laps. But if you had told me before the race that I would get a top 5, I would be happy. So I'm leaving it as that. But
I was
to
going to
know
say
that the top
Sorry, go ahead.
3 was just in reach if I didn't make those mistakes, because it cost me about 10 seconds.
Yeah, we
was
only
fun.
we'll call it a wiggle. We'll call it a wiggle there, and saw you lose 2 spots, but you were able to get them back, and really solid run, man. I mean, you talk about maybe a couple mistakes, comedy errors, but this was a long race, and to be able to maintain focus for that entire time. Talk to us a little bit about what your mindset was like after, I guess you make those mistakes. How do you regroup and know that you've still got 30 minutes or whatever it is left that you got to focus and bear down?
something I like to tell myself is like, don't make more mistakes trying to fix your current mistake. And so I was trying to like keep that mindset, and I was like, all right, well now I'm back behind these two guys. Let me see if I can save enough fuel that I could like maybe get a run on them again on the pits, because I made up like a lot of time in the pits on them. So I was like, let me try to do that again. And then somebody missed their pit box by a few feet. I'm not going to name any names. So that all went out the window pretty quick.
Matt, you know, some
Oh,
of the
man.
discussion on the Discord this week was about the challenges of driving Sebring at night because it's such a dark track. Tell us a little bit about that. Was it a challenge for you, or do you know the track so well that it didn't matter whether you had sunlight or not?
It posed like two separate challenges, because I tried to practice a little bit, but I mostly practice, I don't know if you know, but I like to practice on like very hot tracks, so like I can get the worst case scenario stuff. But the first case was like the time speeding up, who like really caught you off guard. It was like, all right, it's sunset, okay, it's pitch black. So adjusting like to where the brake markers are and like where the track just is like the first challenge. And then after that, you have to like figure out how to use the speed. Like now you have more grip, the track is cooler, like how, like where can you use that to your advantage? And it took me until like the last 2 laps to really like nail that down. But it's a fun challenge. It's a fun, I don't know, Jason Bice would say a fun puzzle to solve, I think.
That is, yes, exactly. Well said. Well, hey man, it was great. I think you solved it. You ended up with a top 5, a really strong run, and we really enjoyed watching you run really strong out there. I want to see, is John back with us?
Yes, I am. Technical difficulty.
Hey, no worries. Yeah, no, thank you for joining us. I know you're on your phone making it work, and I just wanted to see, you know, is there anything that kind of surprised you about the race? I know, obviously, you said you didn't get much practice here, so maybe not so specific to the conditions themselves, but you know, does this play out right about what you expected?
Well, the thing that surprised me the most is that those that made it work without taking tires, I thought for sure that everyone would be taking tires this race.
Yeah, I gotta be honest, I thought that would be the right call. I don't know, it didn't look like the tires cost that much time, but then again,
No.
It didn't look like ultimately the fall off was too bad. Well, at least, you know, I suppose the drivers who were able to manage them. But yeah, no, that'll be one to file away for sure for some of the longer races. Really interesting stuff there. Yeah, well, anyway, it looks like we lost Logan. Oh no, wait, we got one more here. It's my first time on Discord. I apologize. Brennan, are you there? Can you hear me?
It would be so nice if we could hear Brandon
Okay.
right now.
You got it. All right. Well, Brandon, you check in when you can hear me. Oh, unmuted. We can't hear you, bud. Well, in the meantime, I guess any final thoughts there from Matt? We lost Logan. I want to give him some final shout outs there, but Matt, you got any shout outs you want to give before we let you go?
I was about to shout out Brandon, actually. He's, what, P20 in the end? From the messages he sent me last night of, I hate this track, I'm never going to drive it, to getting a P20, I think that sounds like a solid run. So Brandon, my teammates, Ray, Aaron, and Jake, everyone who's watching, you three for commentating, and my girlfriend for letting me practice and spend time actually putting in effort to like do this, because I know like it's gotta be boring to just sit here and hear this steering wheel just make a bunch of noise when you're trying to watch TV. So
Yeah, definitely.
And Matt, I do want to say,
smartest
I
thank you
want to
all.
thank you for all your nice stickers on the car. The livery is looking really, really well done, and our new logo looks awesome on your car.
Yeah, you're definitely meeting the contractual terms of our sponsorship, so good on you.
yeah, that's all Ray. So I can't take any credit for that. I was just like "Hey Ray, can you just make it blue?" And then that was it. So, all right. Well, thank you guys.
Thanks, Matt. Yeah, well done again. Top 5 for Matt Shupke there. Really excited to see what he can do the rest of the season. Brandon, are you still with us?
No, I don't think it's gonna happen. He has a beautiful
we'll give-
car,
all right,
but
we'll-
Busy Bee, great to see him on the track.
I know. I'd really like a chance. Hopefully, we can get this to work here as we say our goodbyes. But that is a fantastic looking vehicle. I know that's Brandon's Honeybee Farm. If you haven't had any of his honey, highly recommended if you get your hands on
tried.
that. But,
I will tell you, I tried one time. It didn't work out. He sold out everything. It's really successful.
If you blink, it's gone. Yes, you got to get in on the ground floor there. So reach out to Brandon Shelton for that. Let's try one more time. Well, anyway, we're gonna try to reset there. Looks like. John, you got any final thoughts?
Not really. It was a fun race to watch. It was very interesting watching the time progress like that, in such short manner.
It was great to see you
like
here in the
that
booth,
idea.
but I am wondering, John, are we going to see you on the track the next time?
No. Unfortunately, I gotta be away from the driving wheel for about 4 or 5 weeks still. So end of April, I might be back on the track.
All right, so that means you're going to join us here in the booth as many
If you'll have
times.
me, sure, yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, no, it's great to have you up here and to have some insights. Once more again, congratulations to Wojciech Swiatovic taking that first position. François Sink second, and James Carr on that third position. I'm curious to see, does anybody know next race? I think it's Laguna Seca.
It is indeed.
Oh man.
And it'll
Yeah,
be...
Well, and you know, if you're curious about what the standings are after this race or what the schedule is for the future, you can check out the Cav Racing Results app.
Ooh,
Tells about
nice
that, Peter.
one. Nice one. Yeah, that's a true one. I always have it up, and it's improving a lot, Peter. I think you do a great job on our Cav app.
Thank you for saying that. But just getting back to next week's race at Laguna Seca, in contrast to tonight's race, next week's race will be in the sprint format, and so we'll have 2 short followed by feature. And so if some of you felt that tonight's race was on the long side at 1.2 hours, be prepared for 3 short sprint races next week.
Yeah, and be prepared for Jerome Bajulaz. Remember last year race? He was like going in as like a madman over there. So curious to see if he's coming back as well. Curious to see what Matt Zepka is going to do. No, it's going to be an exciting race. I want to thank all our viewers and all our drivers. It was a great week again for a lot of racing. Now we have to do some working, and then hopefully in the weekend, Peter, I'm looking forward to Sebring.
Oh, I'm so excited about it. I'm nervous. I'm sure you are too, Pim. But I think especially watching tonight, you just get the idea. It's going to be thrilling to do daytime and nighttime endurance racing.
It's going to be awesome, definitely. With Melody and Nick, we're gonna do awesome. For everybody else, Sunday is our regular racing BRL. We're back with our oval, the playoffs. Gonna be interesting to see that, Chris. And then of course SNS.
Can't wait.
Yeah, that's gonna be an exciting one. We've never done any playoffs in the BRL. Is that correct?
Yeah, it was kind of the standard configuration before, so this is going to be great to see some eliminations. Every race counts, so check out Sunday morning BRL before we get to the Sunday night PM.
All right, John, thanks very much for joining us. Thanks all our viewers, and we will see you at Sunday at Cav Racing Network.